This is the last day of the Lather Games 2018. It's the bonus day, Canada day, and so I have Tallow and Steel Classic. It's a great scent. I don't think I've used it yet. I just really like this scent. It's got to be kind of a citrus, orange type, the zest type of the orange scent. And the razor is going to be my Rocket HD. I believe that's a UK, yeah, United Kingdom make, and it's a great, the handle's kind of solid, it's heavy, I really enjoy using it. Inside of it is a new blade that I haven't tried yet. The Derby Extra is one that I have tried, and it's pretty popular. A lot of people, it's on Amazon. This is the Derby Premium. I like the Derby Extra, so we'll see how the Premium goes. The Derby Extra is a pretty good budget blade for me. A lot of people don't like it, but for me, it seems to work pretty well. For a brush, I have my favorite. This is the last day of the Lather Games. I've used this once during the Lather Games, so it's not a new one for the competition, but this is my favorite that I have right now. It's a Whip Dog Silvertip, and it is a 22 millimeter, and it's, for many people it's too floppy, but for me it's just perfect. I really like it. It's soft, it's got a great feel. The only problem is I'm not a face latherer, and so this handle's a little short for me, and it's resin, and it gets really slippery when I'm mixing stuff up in the bowl. If soap gets on there, it's really slippery. I haven't yet figured out how I'm going to yank that knot out. I might smash it or cut it out. I've tried steaming, and I've had mixed results. I'm afraid to steam because I don't want to lose the knot. I may just buy a new knot, sell this brush because it's great, and then just use the new knot in the new handle that I have that I like better than this one. But anyway, for now, this is my favorite knot, and I am going to squeeze the nut bristles together so I can fit it in my soaking jar. And soaking a badger brush is optional. Don't receive from me that it is mandatory. I just kind of prefer it. And then for the post-shave, we're going to have a matching aftershave splash. So here's what the Derby Premium looks like. Feels pretty thin. They're all thin, but this kind of feels a little bit more thin than usual. And there we go. And we have put a 1/4 teaspoon of soap in the bottom of the lather bowl, which is a Dollar Tree soup bowl. I am finally back home after traveling. So glad. All right, now I believe the badger has soaked for long enough. Sling all the water out of it that I can and start mixing. I have just soaked my face a little bit. Splash some water on it is really what I mean. It's a pretty dry soap, so it's probably thirsty. Let me get my medicine dropper. And add about a 1/2 teaspoon of water to the soap here. Kind of jump start the lather. With a cream, a lot of times the damp brush is plenty to kind of get the lather started, or with some very soft soaps. I just got finished with a roughly 12-hour trip, 12-hour drive across the country, and so I'm going to add water probably a little quicker than I usually do. So we got a cat for the family, and he's happy to see us from our trip, so I'll let him in here. My first time doing that with him, so we'll just see if he jumps up in my shaving mix or if he keeps to his business. Nice tart orange zest coming up from the bowl. The lather looks really good. Nice dense white with a nice sheen to it. And now we have 2 teaspoons added in to the lather. Looking really good. Maybe one day I'll shave the cat. This soap, as I put it in my medicine, in my measuring spoon, was pretty firm, and so my guess is it's going to make a lot of lather. What are you doing, cat? He's kind of young, so he still does stupid stuff on a regular basis. Alright, time to let you out. Let's see if you go out. Yeah, he wanted out. He'll probably want it back in just a minute. So as I mentioned with the Whip Dog brush, I really like this knot. I had a 24mm knot, and I wanted to move it to a better handle. It was a similar arrangement as this, with the shorter handle. And so I tried, I saw online on YouTube where they would boil, steam it out, boil water in a pot, put the brush, have the brush in the pot, and then it would loosen the glue. Because Larry, I think, uses epoxy. He doesn't use silicone to glue up his Whip Dog knots into his handles. And so you can't just kind of twist and pull like you can with silicone. And so I steamed the knot right out. Well, it turned out to ruin the tips of the knot. And then it also cracked the handle when I did it a second time later. So I did it too much, I'm sure. I'm sure if I were to do it over again and do it for a shorter time, maybe try more times to get the, instead of letting it sit in there for 10 minutes or whatever the video said, you know, like in first at 5 minutes, after boiling to try to pull it out, try to pull the knot out. If it didn't come out, maybe put it back in for 3 minutes, and then every 3 minutes after that, you know, to check it. And but at the same time, I don't want to lose. I don't know if I want to risk it. So this handle, or this resin handle, is pretty cheap, and so I might just, pretty inexpensive, and so I might just sacrifice it and cut into it. Got lots of lather. Look, and this is gorgeous. Long flexible peaks. Look how smooth that is. You don't see a lot of peaks and jaggediness to it. So I think this guy's probably ready to go. Let's do a little finger test. Nice and slick. A little bit of cushion. So yep. I don't think I want to push it too much farther than this. So with that, I'm going to rinse my face a second time. And then it's time to put on the lather. Oh, the smell is nice. You know, just kind of fresh. You know, citrus, zesty orange. I'd say the strength is about maybe a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. I like it. It's about the strength that I do prefer in general. And it looks like I may have dialed this guy in just right. We shall see. All right, Derby Premium Blade. I have used this razor before. I know it's a great performer for me, so the blade is in question. Not super smooth, however, just firm, not too much audio. Medium cutting feel. This kind of feel is usually an indicator that it's going to give me a good shave. See how long before the cat gives up. And there we go. And rinse. And that was just kind of a half rinse. I don't want to wash away all the slickness. It didn't feel super creamy or very creamy at all, really. It felt slick as I rinsed it away. Brush feels great. The soap rinses pretty quickly away from my fingers. That is convenient. Sometimes that means that the slickness is more like a water-based kind of, that's my own term, like a watery slickness instead of an oily, greasy, or fatty type of slickness. All right, second pass. My neck area, oh, that's really good. A lot of times I can't go up that high right there. That's my tricky area where I've got some swirls and things like that, and I have to do it just right. And because I was able to go up that high, it tells me that this thing is cutting really well. Most razors do give me a very smooth, most blades give me a smooth shave on the second and third, you know, probably a common thing. For most guys. So I like the scent. It's protecting my face well. It's giving me good slickness. If I want kind of more of a luxury feel, I think I'd probably dial back the water a little bit. I ended up using 4 teaspoons of water for a 1/4 teaspoon of soap. I'd probably back off the water to 3.5 teaspoons and probably have a little bit thicker lather. Probably still give me about the same amount of slickness. So that might be a good sweet spot for next time. Gave you your chance, buddy. You want it out. All right. There we go. And third pass. Not stretching my neck really too much. I've heard that stretching is okay, but just don't stretch a lot. Don't overstretch. That can expose more of your hairs than you really want to. I feel very safe with this combo. I feel like it's a really nice, efficient setup. I feel like it's giving me a good shave, and it's doing it comfortably. But we'll see once we look at the results, right? So I am lively this late at night because I am hopped up on caffeine and 5-hour energy. So there's not much to this scent profile. And that's probably to be expected because, I mean, they called it classic. They weren't trying to, with that kind of name, it's not like they're trying to reinvent the wheel or go to weird places with their scent profile. You know, bergamot or some of the other orange type scents are classic pieces to a scent profile. And so there's not really too much of a surprise in terms of the scent, or not too much super interesting in terms of the scent. Just smells good. Zesty orange. Maybe a little bit other stuff in there too, but not anything that I can discern myself. I'm just not that good at it. I can get the basics down sometimes. But I like the smell. I don't know if I'll keep this one around in my scent. Now I'll tell you what I will keep around. I'll keep around the post-shave, because this stuff works really well for my skin. Doesn't have alcohol, and this type scent, being a classic, is something that kind of like Lucky Tiger is another orange one, and it would just apply and work really well with so many other soaps. And so I'll definitely keep this Swiss Army knife around for forever till he's done. 3 passes is what I did. I did not do my usual partial neck pass, and this is how much soap we have left. So a good bit. Probably don't need to use quite the whole 1/4 teaspoon of soap with this one. The brush felt great. Brush probably would have felt a little better with a thicker soap, but it did great. And the rocket did really well. So I've put on the balm. Results are about average. Oh, nice on the cheeks. Probably 85% baby butt smooth on my cheeks, and that's not really trying, not really too much of anything like against the grain. So very good. Happy with that. So Canada Tallow and Steel is a pretty good soap maker. I love the grog. That's another one of their scents that I really like. So in terms of me keeping a soap that represents that company, I've got dark, but I don't like mint, so I don't know if I'm going to like the dark one. Probably the grog might be the one I keep. I do like that whole Old Spice family, and so the grog is definitely in that. So I'll probably keep the grog. I may sell this this classic soap, but it's very nice. Good performance. Next time I won't add quite as much water. 4 teaspoons is usually more water than I add, so that was a little bit much. But as you can see, it still worked great. It was still slick. That might be a perfect mixture if I was straight razor shaving. They usually like it a little more watered down, just a little bit from the creaminess of the normal double-edged shave. So that might have been the perfect mix for a straight razor shave. All right, I'm happy. Got to use my brush, my favorite brush again, and we're good. I don't think there's anything else to say, but I'll be back in just a second. All right, there we go. We're all cleaned up. So very happy with the razor performance. Just a very good combo of efficiency and comfort. The premium Derby blade, I don't know that it did too much better than the standard Derby blade, the Derby Extra that I've tried before. So if it costs more, to me, in terms of my first impression, it's probably not worth it. But it did well enough to make me think that I want to try it in some other razors too, just to see and make sure I give it a fair shake across a few more samples. So the performance of the Tallow and Steel soap was great. Very happy with that. Love the balm or the aftershave splash. Like I mentioned, it's got great stuff in it, like aloe and witch hazel to help your skin, and no alcohol, so there's no sting. And I'm good. There we go. So that's the end of the lather games this year. I'm glad I did it. I wish I could have read more of what the guys were posting about their experiences. It was neat to learn about some of the other products out there. So I'm really happy that I participated. Glad I heard about it in time to work on getting samples together and all that. So excellent. It's done for this year. So now I can wake up tomorrow and pick whatever I feel like to shave with, right? All right, now take care. Have a good night.